Hello. Today I'm testing a Saturn console, and it works. That's good. I've already tested the game. I also went into the menu here and changed the language to English. I made a video of how to do that, but I can show you just in case you want a quickie. It's a bit difficult because first you go into the menu, then you have to go into this option down there to the right, system settings, which would be in Japanese then, but you just have to remember that it's down in the right. Then you choose the second option here. You press the C button to choose, and here you can choose English. Then you have to go down here to exit, press the C button. Actually, I think you can press the B button. I'll try that. No. A button. No. Okay, so you go down here and press the C button and exit. Then you go back here again to the memory manager. I've also replaced the battery here in the back. Certain consoles have a hatch here, and there's a battery there. It's a normal battery. What are they called? Clock batteries or something. I can show you what they look like. I actually use one of these that I use to replace batteries in Game Boy games. I just remove the tabs here and this yellow thing, and then I just put it in there. And this one is it's called I don't remember, CR 2025 or something. As long as it fits, it should be okay. Okay, let's go back to memory manager. And the thing is that you need to that battery is what keeps the clock. And I also think that you need it for save games. I'm not sure, but I think that you need to have a fresh battery in order to save. But the clock, as far as I know, isn't important, so you can just set it to 1994 or whatever. I've never been here to these other settings. System memory. So when you replace the battery, after that the system memory will always be empty. You have very little memory here. If you can see, it says 461. Some games take up almost all of that memory just to save. Although most, I think, well, it's very different. Some use very little data, and others use very much. But I recommend one of these things, unless you have an action replay when you will be able to save anyways. But if you have a Japanese console and you only want to play Japanese games like I do, then I wouldn't have to use an action replay. I just prefer to use a memory card. And they can hold 8 megabits of data, which is 20 times more than you just saw there. That's I think the system memory of the console is about a half a megabyte. So 8 megabyte is quite good. Normally you wouldn't have to. I don't think I've ever had to clear these things from the save data that I have, because say that the console memory may have the save data from like 4 games, and so if you have 20 times that amount, that would be 80 games, right? Yeah, I hope that's right. 80 games. Quite a lot of Saturn games to play. So now we're gonna put in this cart here. The thing with the cart is that it's the same as with Super Nintendo or Super Famicom games or that kind of games, that they may get dirty, and if they get dirty, they don't quite work. I'm gonna take out this game temporarily. I'm gonna put in the cart here. Looks kind of nice, I think. That sound was because I closed the hatch here. I think the Saturn looks very neat, I have to say. I'm not sure if that's supposed to be flashing that light, but there is. This is the slightly later version of the Model 1 Saturn. The first version, the first revision of the first model is also the same color, but it has divided light here, like two lights, two LEDs, and a bit different font. I'm not sure if I have one of those consoles. This one is the Saturn Model 2, so clearly they look very different. In Europe and in the United States, these consoles had a different color. I think it was black. I'm not sure, but you can still make a difference because on the Model 2 the buttons are round. On the Model 1 the buttons look like this. So even if the color is black, you can still tell what kind of model it is. And what kind of model should you choose? Well, as far as I know, there isn't really, and I've looked around in forums and I've checked around. There isn't really any major differences between the two consoles. There is 2 or 3 games that can't be played on the Model 2. Space Harrier and Outrun. These are games that are Sega. What are they called? Sega Memorial? No, Sega Classic or something. It's not a huge deal, you know. Just gotta. I think most people don't own those games. I think Model 2 has slightly faster loading times, in my experience. And there is, when you run it in RGB mode, I found it to go a little bit smoother, I think, but I'm not sure actually which. Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell. I think basically it's just a matter of which console you prefer the look of. Now both these consoles looks crappy because, as you can tell here, maybe you can't see it, but this one is very badly, like it's yellowed and there's lots of marks on it, so it doesn't look very nice. This one is also very badly yellowed. You can compare here. This is how it should look, and this is how it looks. It looks in its original color. It's actually a very nice looking console, but for some reason they tend to yellow very easily with this color. I think this is kind of fun. You can tell here that it's been yellowed here, but not here. Probably because there's been a cart here that's been in this console for most of the time. And so the sun wouldn't shine right here. It would just shine here. So it would kind of shade it. Protect from the evil sun that creates all this yellowing. So that's kind of fun, I suppose. Maybe you wonder, can I de-yellow these things? Well, there is this thing called Retro Bright. And it kind of works alright with the consoles of this color. It doesn't work as well with consoles of this color because I don't know, people don't really say this on forums, but it doesn't work that well to reverse the yellowing of darker colors or blue or red, because it does actually kind of bleach them. So in my experience, and nobody's mentioned this, maybe because nobody's really tested it, but I have tested it and I would not recommend it, although I'm not 100% sure. Maybe I didn't do it right. But you can bleach these ones, and that's going to be okay. But it takes a lot of time. You have to remove everything, and kind of difficult. Also, you have like the bottom part and the top part. you can see that the sun's been on this side, not so much on this side. Oh well. So I put in the card here, and gonna go into Memory Manager, and my guess is that it won't work, but we'll see. It worked actually. Maybe it's because I've used it before. Yeah, seems like I've played this, or somebody's played this. S4s they've been playing. So they've been using up almost half of the date, almost half of the memory it seems. Memory available 4,000. So you can see that each one of these save games takes like 300 or 200 something. So if you only use the console memory, you would not only be able to save like one game. But okay, it's good to know that that card works. You can also move the items back and forth there. Clear the memory and that kind of stuff. Well, I think we can conclude that that card works. That's nice. I'm gonna take the next one here. So I think I've already tested this one, but I'm gonna test it again. Then we just go back here again to the Memory Manager. It also worked. Oh, that's nice. Sometimes the card slot, the console, can also be dirty, and then you need to clean it in the way that I've shown in the previous video. Let's try here's another one. Let's try that one. That did not work. So I'm gonna do a little cleaning of this card. It looks clean, but it may not be. I'm gonna do some cleaning. So I've taken some of this my miracle solution, or whatever you call it, and cleaned slightly, just for like 20 seconds or so on the contacts here. I'm gonna see if it works. I haven't actually tried it out, so I'm not sure if it's gonna work. I think maybe it's like 50-50 chance. Let's see here. Ah, it worked. Well, they played Kakyusei. I think it's an adventure game with Japanese text. I know that's not my kind of game. Pia Carrot, another one of those Japanese adventure games with Japanese text. Sakura Wars, or Sakura Taisen. Oh, Tokimeki Memorial. Yuno. Girl who chanted love at the something or other. Well, I think I know what taste he had. These games are basically unplayable for non-Japanese speaking persons. Grandia, that's a role-playing game. That's playable. Dragon Force. Oh well. Maybe we can clean the memory here. Clear it, I mean. Clear. See how much memory we're gonna have left. Takes a little while, but they say that these memory cards have like a flash memory or something that requires you to put it in the console like once every 6 months, so that it can sort of recharge some kind of current that it has going inside of it. I'm not sure if that's true, but so if you intend to save your save card for years and years, maybe you should do that. I'm not sure. There's no battery in it though, so Doesn't run by battery. Let's see how much data we have now. We only have 6,456 well, kilobytes or whatever it is. And I've noticed that before. It should say 8 if it had been full. I don't know if they kind of drain by themselves. We're gonna do something interesting. We're gonna clear it again. Then we're gonna see how much data we're gonna have now. We're gonna see if it changes. But one nice thing is that you can change the language so easily in the console, so that once you have it to English, this one is, you can do all these things very easily. Let's see. Well, I think it changed a little bit. Like magic, isn't it? Maybe if I keep on doing it, it's gonna go up. Okay. Oh, 7,000 bytes. Did go up. Let's do it again. Wow, this is like magic. Great combination. $7,100. Wow. So, if your memory card doesn't work, probably need to clean it. Some of these things can be very difficult to get to work. Oh, I think I'm just gonna click exit here. And make sure that you really exit this menu. See, now it couldn't find the card. So that's kind of what happens sometimes. Just gonna go right back in and see if it finds it. Yeah, I found it this time. So if your card doesn't work, it could just be something like that. Didn't find it for some reason. And I don't know why that is, but could have something to do with this internal current that people talk about. It seems to be running with a very low current inside of it continuously. Or it could just be the dirty contacts. But once you have this card inside, I just leave it in, and it's no problem with it. It doesn't stop working. And I suppose that's all I had to say about memory cards. So now I'm gonna try a game here. And checking disk format. Then you can press C button here to start it. I've never been bothered by loading times in Saturn games, frankly. Most games have loading times, but I mean, I can wait those 10-20 seconds. I think I'm gonna turn my recorder here as well. Because I think that Saturn games have such cool intros that I'd like to record them. I don't quite know why I think that the Saturn games have such cool intros. Even when I compare it to the Dreamcast, I think that the Dreamcast just doesn't have that. In case you're wondering, this game is called Toshinden S, and it's a fighting game. And the Toshinden series is, I think it's mainly fighting games, but they have some other games too. Takara may have made lots of fighting games, different series. Okay, let's just check the options here. Probably can't see that very well. I wanted to see if there was some kind of save thing, but I couldn't find it. Retsuden, or should we go one player game? I don't know what Retsuden is. So I'm doing this partly because I want to test the controller. The Saturn controller is, I mean, if you search around for, I'm just going to choose a character first. I like to always choose the first character in the list because they always seem to be the most balanced. Well, the Saturn control, if you Google it, you find that many people think that this is the best controller ever made, at least for 2D games, or for being of this well, the earlier sort of retro. I can't really compare with modern PS3 and Xbox controller. I don't know enough about them, but it is a very good controller. Not only does it feel very nice in your hand, but it also works very well. The buttons feel very nice. The D-pad here feels very accurate. There's really nothing wrong with it, and it doesn't really wear down in the same way that many other controllers do. So I rarely even have to open them up and clean them. I mean, compared with the Dreamcast controller, it's just not as accurate with the D-cross, and it's also more difficult to hold. Okay, so they're talking here about something that I don't understand. I just press start here. Well, obviously gonna be hard to play with one hand, so I have to put this on pause now.